I ever so simply need to share the amazing day that I've had today. So about a week ago, I decided that I wanted to get into collecting cassettes. I have a giant vinyl collection. I have a big CD collection, but I was like, you know what, maybe it's time I start getting into some cassettes. Because, you know, sometimes the vinyl issues can be a little expensive, especially if they're older ones. And the cassettes are usually cheap and it makes it a little more fun, you know, haha. So I ended up buying this cassette slash CD player on Amazon. And I want to give it some credit. It's not bad, okay? It's actually a pretty decent setup. It has a lot of cool functions. For $50, I'm not paid to say this, I'm just saying. But it's decent. But it still had like a bit of cassette hiss. If you play it with the speakers that are on here, the speakers are like meh. If you like plug it in like aux to like better speakers, it sounds pretty good. A CD sounds great, but like the tape had a lot of hiss to it. So I was like, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I'll keep on the lookout for something else just in case. And then my dad was like, well, I have this. My dad used to be a DJ, so that's important to note here. And he was like, well, in the shed at the house, and keep in mind, my parents are divorced, so like the shed behind our house, has a lot of his stuff in it, and a lot of his DJ stuff. And so he was like, well, I think I have a cassette deck in there. You could have that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But the issue is that the shed is locked and no one has the lock to the key. My dad says that my mom has it. My mom says that my dad has it. So lo and behold, no one has it. So I'm like, well, you know, it's going to be a while before that happens. And I went to a thrift store again and I ended up finding this right here, this little boom box. And in the thrift store, it played great. And then my dad was like, well, maybe you should clean it out. And then I cleaned it out. And then the cassette deck, it just sounds terrible. Before it sounded pretty good, and then and it just sounded terrible. And I was like, damn it. So this was a no-go. And then today I'm out with my mom and I'm like, you know what, maybe today's the day that I just decide to get into that shed. But I'm like, how am I going to do it if we don't have the lock? So I decided to buy a pair of pliers. And I went and I was a really manly man and I took these things and I was like, and I got it off. I got off the lock. And then so I FaceTime my dad and I'm like, I'm in the shed. And he was like, okay. And so he's looking on FaceTime and he's like, that's it right over there in that box. And I'm like, no, there's no way. Now, I don't have the box with me, but my dad had a lot of DJ equipment, so he had these really sturdy boxes. Now, keep in mind that the stuff that's in there, it is ungodly how long it's been in there. I don't know, probably over 10 years, and that's going to be a big factor here in a minute. So I find it and we open it on FaceTime and it's the cassette deck. And here's what's crazier. There were 2 cassette decks. So, first of all, I'm going to show you this one right here because it's the one that I don't have. Well, it is plugged in, but not into my system right now. So there were 2, and they're both the brand Denon. So here's the first one right here. So this one is the DN6110F, and it has a manufacturing date of 1995. So it's been a while. But then there was another one, which is in front of me here. So this is the Denon T620, okay? And this is like the newer model. I think the date on the back of this, I already have it plugged in, but it was like 1999, okay? And so I was like, there's no way that these are gonna work. I'm not kidding. They have been in that shed for like, again, it's been over 10 years, and probably longer than that, that these have gone unplayed and not being used. And I live in Illinois, so the weather is just, you know what it can be in the winter. Like these have both seen like some real severe cold temperatures and some real severe hot temperatures. And so I was like, there's no way it's going to work. And never underestimate the technology that was built between the 80s and the 90s, because lo and behold, both of these work perfectly. So the thing is that I don't know if I'm getting the best sound quality out of them, because they both require like the RCA cables into like 2 speakers, and I have a good speaker over there, but it doesn't have that. My Audio-Technica LP120 is the Bluetooth model, so like I don't have an issue with that. But I plugged one of this one or the other one into my speaker. So I had to get from Walmart. I bought a RCA to aux converter, and I heard that those are actually not too bad. So I ended up getting that delivered. And for when I played it on there, it would only play it out of the right speaker. So I don't know if that was specific to the player or to like that, whatever. So then I decided, well, I'm just going to hook it up to my sound system that I have, with my TV, because I have a 5.1 surround system. And so I put the converter in, and lo and behold, it works beautifully. So, yeah, the cassette collecting can, and what's even cooler is that both of these, so this one that's not plugged in says Dolby System, and the other one says Dolby B and R. So both of these have like the cool feature that was like done for cassettes if your cassette was not in good condition, called noise reduction. And so what's interesting is that I played a cassette with the noise and reduction on and off, and it sounds better with it off, weirdly enough. Like the hiss, like there's no hiss, there's nothing, it sounds great. And so now, like, here are some of the like cassettes that I already bought some on like Discogs. So we have some mostly Celine actually. We have Cyndi Lauper, we have Oklahoma, and then I have a Sarah Brightman one. And here's what's even crazier is that I work at a library, and so this isn't all of them right here, but fun fact, some libraries still have cassettes in their collection, so I requested these from a different library, and they sent them to me. It's like a Cher and a Cyndi Lauper one. But enough bragging, I just want to show you guys how great it sounds, because I'm so happy about this. I also forgot to mention that this also has CD playback capability. I'm sure you saw that when watching the video, but the CDs sound great too. I tested that. And it has the function where you can pick like the track number up there. So say I want to just skip directly to track 5, I pick that and it goes directly to it. And this plays cassettes on both sides. It has that feature. Again, the Dolby, or the digital noise reduction. So anyways, here we go. I'm going to show it off with this Celine Dion cassette right here, because, you know, Celine's the queen. And so here we go. I'm going to play. You turn it on. Look at that. Gorgeous. And then click play. So right now you can hear some of the hiss. And so if I turn that on, it kind of blocks that out. But once the music really starts going, the hiss goes. 'Cause I surrender everything, feel the chance to live again. I reach to you, I know you can feel it too. We make it through 1,000 dreams. I still believe, I think you give them all to me. I hold you in my arms and never let go. So yes, needless to say, I am so pumped and so happy. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the other one yet. My mom kind of hinted that she wanted it. So we'll see. But my dad says that this one that I have plugged in is the better model. It's the newer model too. So slay.